So, Yardbarker.com talked about 3 players who could have the biggest impact in Week 2 game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And to be honest, I feel like they're just going to go with the obvious choices. So let's talk about 3 players who aren't the obvious choices who could have a huge impact in this game. Number 1, Jordan Battle. Yeah, you know, the guy didn't play any last week due to a coaching decision. I think he could really have a huge impact, especially with the fact they have a really good running back in Isaiah Pacheco. And of course, our run defense last week looked absolutely garbage without him in there. So that's probably the first guy on my list and probably the number 1 player I want to see have at least, and I mean at least 85% of the snaps. Like, there's no question about that. If we go into this game and we're like, oh yeah, Jordan Battle, we're not using him again. Yeah, we're going to lose this game very, very badly. That's number 1. Number 2, without T. Higgins, how about Jermaine Burton? How about we actually utilize the rookie we drafted? And listen, I understand right now the reason why we're not playing Jermaine Burton is because of the fact that he has some issues in meetings. He's not taking it serious, apparently. He's not falling asleep, like Al Michael said, but he's not taking it serious. He's not learning the playbook, and he's running wrong routes at practice, and it's just a mess. It's an absolute mess. And I get that, right? You want to make sure as a team, as a coach, that you set principles. That, hey, listen, if you don't take this serious, no matter who you are not going to play in the game. But at some point, you got to look at the fact the guy is really good. And we need that type of excellence to help out this offense in some capacity. So 100% we need him to go out there and play some good football, okay? Not even a question on earth. Number 3, Trent Brown. Yep, Trent Brown is the starter this week for the second back-to-back weeks, and last week he struggled greatly. Now, he did take accountability for it, and he came out and actually put out a statement. And in the end, it was a very good statement of him taking accountability for messing up. And you know what? The only way you can fix that mess up, fix and take true accountability is by showing how good you are this week. He will be getting a lot of matchups one-on-one with Chris Jones, especially with the fact I'm sure that Spags has looked at our tape last week and saw that our biggest weakness was Trent Brown. So there's going to be a lot of blitzes, a lot of pressure on that right-hand side. We need to make sure that he is the guy that takes off and helps us out dramatically. So those are my 3 guys, okay? Overall, there are other guys you could list as well, but those are the 3 guys I feel like if those 3 guys have really good games, 100,000% we're going to win this game. I already think we're going to win this game. But if those guys have great games, even way more of an odd to win. Now, for Yardbreaker.com, they're going to post Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Trey Hendrickson. And ironically enough, you know, I think Trey's going to have a good game no matter what. He always does. He's an absolute animal. But I will say, I think there needs to be someone else in that defensive line who has a big game outside of Trey Hendrickson. Whether it is Sheldon Rankins, whether it is Miles Murphy, Joseph Asai, you know, one of these guys needs to have a big game outside of just, you know, Trey Hendrickson. Because last week, yeah, Trey actually looked good, but he was our only offensive or defensive lineman who actually looked really good. He was the only pass rusher who had any type of, you know, sway on the defensive line. So, well, yes, overall wise, we do need these 3 guys that they listed to do good. We need some other guys to have absolute game-breaking games that are outside of just, again, the easy options as they listed here. So it's going to be, in my opinion, a very long game, a frustrating game, and it's going to be a typical Bengals-Chiefs game, man. It's why we hate them, but love playing them and have that respect factor about them, is that this is always a tough back-and-forth game. It's to a point where it's like playing them is like an AFC North battle, and if they ever did come to the AFC North, they would be Definitely not as good as they are now because they would be absolutely demolished by our division. But with that being said, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Who dey?